On the dusty trail to Nipton, the courier chooses to take a breather at an intriguing locale, the Mojave Outpost. This seemingly desolate stopover marks an imperative crossroads on their relentless pursuit of the men who shot them in the head and left them for dead, last seen lurking in the shadows of Novac. The Mojave Outpost, also known as NCR Ranger Outpost Mojave, is more than just a desolate pit stop. It signifies the entryway to the Mojave Wasteland and serves as the first stop for caravans journeying from the core territories of the New California Republic, the NCR, to the gambling oasis of New Vegas and the expanses beyond. It is also the cornerstone for all NCR military operations in the southwestern Mojave. Nestled near the dividing line of California and Nevada, the outpost once was a checkpoint along Interstate 15 before the all-consuming Great War. Now it represents the stark demarcation of the NCR-controlled territory. Post-war, the relics of once thriving vehicles speckle the interstate along with the checkpoint, which has morphed into a tranquil haven for wandering Brahmin. By 2281, the outpost has evolved into an administrative nucleus and a command hub, carrying out the meticulous task of approving caravans and managing the Herculean responsibility of ensuring safety along the precarious roadways. The outpost stands as a beacon for the southwestern Mojave, safeguarding the stretch of the I-15 south of Primm and Highway 95. Its stalwart soldiers stand as vigilant guardians, maintaining the security of the vast interstate. The relative security of this outpost makes it a more attractive posting than more dangerous fronts like the East and the tumultuous Colorado River. Despite the safety net of the Mojave Outpost, external pressures have dictated its evolution. The NCRCF prison breakout of 2281 led to a permanent outpost establishment at Primm, spreading the resources thin. The outpost was left with a reduced patrol capacity for the highways, compromising the security to an alarming degree. This inability to manage threats along the interstate resulted in a massive caravan backlog at the outpost, with traders anxiously waiting for either the roads to be safe or their clearance papers to be issued. The outpost bar, originally brimming with optimism from the sudden influx of stranded traders, found its hopes dashed as traders chose to tightly hold on to their caps. The remaining soldiers, alert and apprehensive, fear the ramifications of the Legion's forces breaching the nearby town of Nipton. If that were to happen, the outpost would transform into a battlefield. The Mojave Outpost's unique layout includes two imposing structures perched on a hill saddle, the headquarters and the barracks. A fortress-like fence coupled with strategically positioned sandbags surrounds these buildings. On the backdrop of the northern end, two massive statues cast their long shadows, while the southern end is fortified by rugged rock walls. The constant patrol of Sergeant Kilbourne is a reassuring sight along the road to the outpost, while a lone travelling merchant becomes a familiar face, moving between the outpost and the Nevada State Route 164 junction down the hill each day. The locked gate to the southwest, a remnant of the I-15, holds secrets behind its rusted facade, revealing only to those able to venture through. The sparse remains of former structures and power lines stand in silent testimony of the past. The gate unlocks if the NCR becomes a target in the apocalypse quest during Lonesome Road, leading to the Long 15. The headquarters building functions as the administrative hub and command centre of the NCR for the southeastern Mojave, providing protection for the stretch of I-15 south of Primm and Highway 95 up through the area defended by Camp Searchlight. In recent times, the NCR's forces have been spread thin, allowing threats to overwhelm the highway below, causing caravans to gradually pile up at the outpost as they wait for the roads to clear. The officers within the HQ shoulder the administrative duties of logging and compiling this outpost traffic data. Upon first entering the headquarters, the courier will be greeted by Major Knight, who operates the front desk of this office. Major Knight provides detailed information about the region's current state of affairs and can repair items to full functionality. He also plays a potential role in the My Kind of Town questline. Ranger Jackson, another notable character, can usually be found in one of the building's rear rooms. He offers the Can You Find It in Your Heart quest, in addition to his involvement in the quest Heartache by the Number. Located adjacent to the headquarters building, with a picnic area in the rear, the barracks stand between the headquarters and the Unification Monument on the southern side of Interstate 15. The barracks house a bar where Lacey sells alcohol among other items. To To the left is a small kitchen section with a refrigerator, and further left, the actual barracks filled with bunk beds that the courier may use. At the bar, Rose of Sharon Cassidy, also known as Cass, drowns her sorrows in whiskey. Cass can eventually be recruited as a companion once the courier embarks on the You Can Depend on Me quest line. Her tale is a story for another time. The NCR Sniper Ranger Ghost maintains her overlook on the barracks roof, ready to offer the Keep Your Eyes on the Prize quest. The Unification Monument, an imposing structure, is the most distinct feature of the Mojave Outpost. It commemorates the historical merger of Nevada's Desert Rangers and the New California Republic Rangers in 2271. Faced with the formidable forces of Caesar's Legion, the Rangers realised they could not protect the Mojave alone. This checkpoint then became the historic site where the Rangers of Nevada and the NCR Rangers signed the Ranger Unification Treaty in 2271. Following the merger of the two forces, in exchange for the NCR extending its jurisdiction to include southern Nevada, New Vegas and the Hoover Dam, the monument was erected. The pair of statues depicting the unification of the Rangers now towers over the outpost, serving as a constant reminder of the treaty and marking the boundary of the territory controlled by the NCR. The Mojave Outpost thus stands as a testament to the unyielding spirit of survival and cooperation in the face of adversity. So what happens next for the courier on their journey to seek out the men that almost killed them? In the heart of the Mojave Outpost, under the immense steel silhouettes of two gunslingers locked in eternal handshake, the courier finds Ranger Jackson. Their meeting is brief, yet purposeful. A problem gnaws at the edges of Jackson's resolve, an insect infestation causing a threatening shadow on the safe passage for the supply caravans. The Ranger's desperation seeps through, thick and palpable, his eyes glittering with an unspoken offer. A chance to lose some supplies as a generous bounty for anyone willing to risk life and limb. And so, armed with the tacit promise of reward, the courier ventures forth, seeking to purge the pestilence plaguing the Ivan Padrai Lake. The true scale of the menace reveals itself in the form of giant ants. These aren't ordinary pests, but monstrous beasts that stalk the skeletal remains of the 95 underpass, casting long, ominous shadows on the scorched desert sand. With a heart fortified by the fires of determination, the courier engages the creatures, bringing peace back to the highway underpass. Once the dust of battle settles and the crunching of ant exoskeletons fades into silence, the courier makes their triumphant return to Ranger Jackson at the Mojave Outpost. Gratitude adorns Jackson's gruff features as he acknowledges the courier's invaluable assistance. A smokescreen of ambiguity enshrouds their reward when the topic is broached. There's a subtle dance of words where Jackson offers a handful of weapons that nobody would miss. As the sun dips low over the Mojave Outpost, a new mystery unfurls. Ghost, the NCR Ranger sniper, wears a troubled frown as she speaks of smoke plumes rising ominously from the reclusive town of Nipton. Her concern deepens with the mention of missing travellers, an eerie silence from a town that should be abuzz with activity. She looks to the courier, her gaze asking for assistance and unveiling the secrets held tight in Nipton's grasp. Feeling the weight of their task, the courier agrees to Ghost's proposition. The road to Nipton is one they would travel anyway, a crucial junction on their quest to find the mysterious assailants last seen in Novak. With the Mojave sun casting long shadows behind them, the courier embarks on this new journey, the tale of Nipton yet to unfold. Their story in Mojave Outpost comes to a close, only to open another chapter in the harsh, yet intriguing, desert landscape.